Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn says himself and his fighter Dillian, the body snatcher White, are in fear that the WBC may elevate undefeated WBC American heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder to franchise champion, as they did recently with Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Eddie Hearn, CEO, promoter of Matchroom Promotions and DAZN, is stating that he's in fear and Dillian White is in fear. They're living in fear at the moment due to the fact that they feel like the WBC could possibly elevate undefeated WBC American heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder to franchise champion, as they did with Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez. Last weekend, the WBC elevated Saul Canelo Alvarez to franchise champion. Thus, JERMALL was the interim WBC mandatory in place to face Saul Canelo Alvarez. They moved JERMALL up to regular champion. Now he's the official champion. And they elevated Saul Canelo Alvarez to franchise champion, right? Thus, these two will never face off unless they come to some agreement. But as far as the sanction body goes, they can't be mandated. Canelo Alvarez, should I say, can't be mandated. And this is the fear that Eddie Hearn is claiming him and Dillian White have, as they feel like they could possibly elevate Deontay Wilder to franchise champion. And Dillian White, who's the interim right now, will be facing Oscar Rivas, I guess, for the mandatory spot. Dillian White has been in the #1 ranked opponent in the WBC rankings, and he's looking to get his shot at the WBC title, which will have to come against, obviously, Deontay Wilder, who's the WBC champion, right? So they feel like they don't want Deontay Wilder to be elevated and then Dillian White be placed in that spot, as Eddie Hearn is stating that Dillian White doesn't want to fight for a vacant WBC belt. He wants to face Deontay Wilder. I got somewhat of an explanation on to the reason that they elevated Saul Canelo Alvarez. And it made sense, as Deontay Wilder can't move up or can't move down, where Saul Canelo Alvarez can move down, he can move up, he can maneuver, where Deontay Wilder is a heavyweight. With the weight that he does come in, it's a possibility, and there's been talk of him possibly going down to cruiserweight and fighting at 200 pounds, but I just don't see that happening, especially anytime soon. So it's like he's kind of, stuck in place in one division, where they feel like Canelo Alvarez can move around. So they felt like they should elevate him, give CHARLO what he deserves, is to be the WBC champion. He deserved a shot to face Canelo Alvarez to become the WBC champion. And Canelo Alvarez wasn't willing to give him that chance. So they elevated Canelo Alvarez to a mythical status, and they moved CHARLO into an official status of the WBC champion. But he never fought Alvarez to receive, He never fought Canelo Alvarez to receive the belt. So he never, actually fought Canelo Alvarez to become the WBC champion. And this is the fear that Eddie Hearn is claiming that himself and Dillian White has, as they don't want to become WBC champion without facing the actual WBC champion. That would be Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. First and foremost, I don't see the WBC doing this in this situation. Secondly, Deontay Wilder would never avoid Dillian White. He hasn't avoided Dillian White. He's told Dillian White the avenue to take to get to him. Deontay Wilder is facing bigger and better opponents at the time. No disrespect to Dillian White. But Deontay Wilder's going the route of, he was trying to go the route of facing Anthony Joshua, and he's going the route of facing Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury, which are just simply bigger fights than him facing Dillian White. There's a strong possibility that he could face Dillian White in 2020, right? Who knows? With that said, Deontay Wilder's not going to avoid Dillian White. he's going to go full steam at Dillian White should he get past Ortiz and Tyson Fury, which I expect him to do. But like we know in the sport of boxing, there's no foregone conclusion with anything. As we know in the sport of boxing, nothing is guaranteed. You know, you just can't put nothing past anybody because the sport of boxing, anything can happen. So with that said, you know, we just never know what's going to happen, you know, in the situation with Wilder and Fury and Wilder and Ortiz. But I'm pretty sure Deontay Wilder doesn't mind, as he stated numerous of times in numerous of interviews, that he wants to fight Dillian White. So I think this is all a ploy by Eddie Hearn and Dillian White at this point in time to try to draw attention to this situation and try to make sure the WBC doesn't do this with Deontay Wilder as they did with Saul Canelo Alvarez. But the difference is Canelo Alvarez wasn't looking to face JERMALL CHARLO, as Deontay Wilder is looking to face Dillian White just somewhere down the line. Canelo Alvarez had no interest in facing JERMALL CHARLO, as he's looking to move up to 175 and 168. He has other things in mind, Saul Canelo Alvarez, that he wants to accomplish, and JERMALL CHARLO is not on his list of short list of accomplishments at this point in time, unfortunately, for us as the fans and the media, right? So with that said, he's just not interested, no interest in facing JERMALL CHARLO, which is totally different from the situation with Deontay Wilder and Dillian White, because Dillian White is an opponent that Deontay Wilder is looking forward to facing. It's just not in the immediate future, as he's looking to face Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. So Eddie Hearn putting this out there is it's all a ploy, it's all bogus, you know, because Eddie Hearn knows that the WBC is not interested in doing this, and they know that Deontay Wilder is interested in facing Dillian White. So he's not looking to avoid Dillian White. And as I was explained to, you know, Dillian White is in a division where the heavyweight division is small. So he doesn't really have a choice to face Dillian White. At some point in time, he's going to have to face Dillian White. Whereas Canelo Alvarez can move up, he can move down. He has options to avoid JERMALL CHARLO. So that's not the case with Deontay Wilder and Dillian White. So Eddie Hearn at this point just needs to knock it off with this, you know. But that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. And you already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to new media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos.